Like notes through the hourglass, these are the songs of our lives. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Songs of Our Lives. I'm Brad Rose. I'm an artist, a composer, a writer, the founder of Foxy Digitalis, and someone who thinks about music and sound far more than is healthy. Each week I invite on a guest to talk about the songs and the music that has meant a lot to them and left its mark. Previous guests include Bob Holmes, Ruth Garbus, Ben Saratan, Kalia Vandiver, Caroline Davis, and so many more. But this week I am very excited to have Zakè on the show. I've known him for years now. We've exchanged a lot of emails and messages and shared a lot of music. This was such a cool opportunity to, actually talk quote unquote face to face. It was video chat, but you know what I mean? Yeah, Zach's a real one. I feel so much like camaraderie and just, just all those things. I don't know. Words are escaping me at the moment. The sort of occasion of this, beyond all the incredible stuff that Past Inside the Present, the label that he started, does, which is immense and endless. It's also the 20th anniversary of his first ever solo album, Zakè. But the main thing is Still Beauty, which is the new collaboration with Marine Eyes, aka Cynthia Bernard. It's their second album after Unfailing Love, which I feel like I don't know. It was one of the first things that I wrote really in depth about that was on Past Inside the Present, an album that I return to pretty regularly. This new one is, again, it is something special. It kind of, in some ways it like picks up where Unfailing Love left off, but it like picks up where it left off and then sort of opens up a whole new channel of sonic reverie in a way. It's a incredible record. So, make sure you check that out because it is out now, and Past Inside the Present is always putting out cool and interesting stuff that for me they're one of those labels that's like, oh, they got something new, I gotta hear it. So that's kind of the biggest praise I can give. So anyway, this episode was far too much fun to record, and I hope you all enjoy it. My guest today, musician, composer. Can I call you like a drone god? I don't know. A label mogul. It's Zakè. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Brad? Thanks for having me, man. This is great.
Absolutely, man. So you are someone who stays very busy in all aspects of life, I think, but we're going to talk about music.
Yeah.
So the main thing, the thing that sort of prompted this is this is your second album you've done with Cynthia, with Marine Eyes, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. This is the second one for sure.
Yeah. So Still Beauty is the name of it. It's out now on Past Inside the Present, of course. It feels like a record to me that is like from a really sort of specific emotional place. Like the press notes mention like significant trials and traumas in the years since Unfailing Love, which was of course your first record. Right. Without needing to go anything like you don't want to talk about, how did those sort of experiences shape what this record became?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the genesis, of course, was Unfailing Love, and it was an album that Cynthia and I created together just to kind of work through the state of emotions that we were given at that time, and it unfortunately has been something that is ongoing. But the one thing that her and I both share similar concepts and feelings and ideologies with pain and strife and hurt is to counteract it with hope. And those are what these albums are specifically, and it's intended for those people, because guess what? Everybody has hurt, especially now more than ever in today's world and society. There's everybody's struggling on one end or the other, and nobody's, pain or hurt is less or more significant than the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody's going through it. So, one thing that we can do is just preach hope. And that's something that's hard to come by, especially when you look at how media and society kind of propagate, shock reality and, doom and gloom and all that other, bullshit that, we see day in and day out. This is kind of our respite. This is something that we want people to retreat to. And understandably, that's something that Cynthia and I do, of course. We don't just create music for the masses to hear, but it's something that we do for ourselves as well, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think about that all the time, about how, you look at the problems in the world, which are many and vast and huge, and a lot of things I can't do anything about, but I can create things and put them into the world for people. I can create spaces for people to hopefully unplug for a minute,
100%. And I think more often than not, you see the artists are doing that for themselves. And it's not a selfish thing, but if it appeases or appeals to somebody's ears, join the journey with us,
Right. Yeah, I always think, like, if nobody was listening, I'd still be doing the same thing.
No doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't feel like I have a choice at this point.
Right. It only took me creating a label for people to hear my music.
Exactly. I am curious. I don't know that I know, like, how, because obviously, like, Cynthia and James, like, they're in Pass Inside the Press. It's all very intertwined. You guys do so much cool shit together. How did you guys first, like, meet across paths? Like, how did that start?
Man, so it started with an email from James Bernard, and I freaked out. I saw an email come through, and I told my wife, I was just like, James Bernard just freaking emailed me, sent me a demo. I was like, freaking James Bernard, legendary. And he heard from me through Orchestral Tape Studies. That's still his number one album. And he'll tell me time and time again, he's like, this is why I hit him up, because he understands. He's not just somebody running a label. He is a musician. He writes music, and I love it. And I want to fuck with that. And I'm like, all right, cool. Bet. So, he emailed me, and that was it. I mean, then next thing you know, I'm introduced to Cynthia, and then I asked both of them to start, working for Pit P, along with Nick and Kevin and Drew, all musicians. So but very early on, it was a thing of not just like, oh, you're an employee, but this is kind of just like a group, a collaborative of like minds, and artists for artists by artists kind of scenario. And we just kind of all grew together, and it's been like that since basically the start.
That's awesome, man. Back to the record. One of the, I really love the way that, like, Cynthia's voice and your kind of drone work feels like, it's underselling it, but the stuff you're composing, like, they feel like they have this really specific relationship on this record. And I'm really curious how the two of you actually build these pieces together, like what the process kind of looks like.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, we took almost the same process as always from like the first album to this album. And it's kind of how I work with all artists. Either I start with the piece, they start with the piece, or lay the foundation. And for Unfailing Love and for Still Beauty, I provided a lot of the drone work, the loops, the sounds, the field recordings, all kind of, into one, layer. It wasn't passing back and forth stems and whatnot. It's just like, okay, here's my foundation. Have at it, kind of scenario. And we have become so intimate with each other's sounds that we kind of know how to work with each sound. So I will be quite honest with you, man. I sent her, a good amount of foundational pieces, and she just took it and blew it out of the water, dude. I would be, it would not be accurate to say that this was a 50-50 album, because what I sent her and what the end result was are two very different things. And she absolutely
That's
just
awesome.
destroyed in a good way
Yeah.
the emotive sense of, the sound environment we were wanting to achieve. And she really took this, and it just has been so awesome to see her and, see her grow, and
Oh
it seems
man.
like
Yeah.
everything that she does, everything she touches is just becoming more measured, more impactful. And not to say that not that her previous work was not, but you could just see that she's just in her A game right now, man. And
Absolutely.
I'm just so honored that we were able to do Still Beauty, man. And
Man,
kudos to her on that one, man.
I've done a million. I love collaborations are the best. I fucking love
100%. It builds community, man.
Yeah, but that feeling of when you send something off and then you get it back and it just blows your mind. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. That just happened last week. Brock, BB Dub, and we've been passing back stuff, and I sent him, 4 long forms, and I was like, "All right, Brock, the floodgates are open. Go for it, dude." And he just sent me the tracks back last night, and I was just laughing. I'm like, "Dude, you're freaking ridiculous." And I don't know if you know Brock too well, but he was just like, it's either, he'll if he's into something, he'll go on a marathon. So he's like, I sent it to him, and then like seriously, like 16 hours later, he's like, "Dude, I haven't slept for 16 hours. I've been in the studio for 16 hours. It's done, by the way. Here you go." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And it was insane. I mean, so that's how I love working with people, because it's just like, here's the canvas, man. You're the painter, or am I painting? Who's Bob Ross in this thing? And he made some pretty trees, bro.
Oh, that's man, that's killer. Can't wait to hear that. That's gonna be sick. And that's like, and I love like, and like when you start like a new collaboration too, it's just like it's like this, it's building a relationship. It's like building trust and all these things, which are these just things that I, thinking of things to sustain us and pockets of hope in this world. It's like, that's the kind of stuff, man.
Absolutely, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the songs, I would be remiss. It's the 20th anniversary of your first record. So is that the 20th anniversary of the label too, basically? Or is the label?
No, man. No, we started the label. I came up with this crazy idea to start a label in end of 2018. So past inside the present for maybe 2 months. I started it as kind of like a newsletter. I felt like, a lot of people aren't writing too much about, ambient, or I just felt like doing it, know? And then like after 2 months, I realized I kind of really hate writing, so, so I talked to my wife, and she's just like, "You've been wanting to do this forever." She's just like, "Go for it. And don't just half-ass, just go." Yeah. So I sold my motorcycle, and I used that money to start PT, man. And, that first year was insane. It was a blur because I think we released every week, but it definitely got us on the map of, this guy's doing something that is like breaking all the rules. Like, you shouldn't release every week. And I get it, but we just couldn't help ourselves, and it was awesome. And it started in 19, but the 20th anniversary of this, debut album. I mean, this is when I first started, really producing. After I stopped playing in a band, I was doing full US tours as a drummer. And when I got back, I know our guitar player, he was using Propellerhead Reason. And I was like, "Dude, give me a cracked copy of that." And I just started fucking around with it. And I was using Soundforge and, a tape recorder.
Yeah.
And that was the genesis of it, man. And at that time, it was just Frizzell. That was my name. I put it on Bandcamp to crickets, and I made 30 CDRs and gave it to friends, and they gave me, kind thank you. But, I don't think anybody listened to it, So when Passing Inside the Present started in, basically 2019, I was just like, screw it. I'm gonna release it. And I didn't want anybody to really know it was me, because my first thought was like, I don't want to be running a label and then releasing my own shit on it because it just feels kind of self-serving. But well, I released it and I gave it the moniker zakè. So it was the, Japanese writing. I had a friend kind of, translate out my name to Zach. So it was very easy to,
Right.
Google translate what those symbols were. It was zakè or Zach. And, had I known that people would actually listen to my shit, I think I'd come up with a better name, but I'm kind of stuck with zakè, I thought, it'd be cool to like have a better name, like, House of Light or Assembly of Doom or some shit. But no, I'm stuck with zakè. And, I guess people now see it and they couldn't think of anything else better than zakè because I guess I branded it.
Yeah, that's how I think about that. I think about that all the time. I'm like, man, why did I do this? Why didn't I just?
You kind of don't see the big picture when you do stuff like that. Like you just kind of like, and kind of, for this one, it's just like I didn't really want anybody to know. And next thing you know, man, like we pressed 100 cassettes gone, and a couple hundred CDs, those were gone, and then let it sit for a while, and next thing you know, I was like, holy shit, it's 2026. I initially dropped this in 2006. So let's give it a remix, a remaster. Thank you, James.
Yeah.
And there's, 4 songs that were sitting around the same time in the sessions, and I cleaned them up a bit and threw them up there as bonus items. And yeah, pressed the CD properly. It's a glass mastered, not a CDR, of course. With any pit P, it's all going to be glass mastered CD. So it's nice to have it, and no revamped artwork, but kept it very real to that original photo that I took probably in 2004 at an old home that I had in Indianapolis. So it was a pine tree. So,
right. Hey.
All ambient artists do that. They're like, oh, I need artwork. I'm going in my backyard and taking a picture of a close up of plants.
Yeah, just got to find a tree or a flower or something, and get that macro lens, and there we go. We've all done it. We will all probably do it again. Hey,
absolutely. Hey, shit, that's better than AI, dude. I'll take that shit over AI any day.
There you go. That's, exactly. You got like a good quality phone on your or camera on your phone. Everybody, just fucking take a picture.
No AI, please. For fuck's sake.
Well, here's to 20 more years, and
yes.
20. Looking back 20. This is a good segue. I guess we'll get into the songs and go back even further.
Yeah.
And as always, begin with what is the first song that you remember?
Oh my God, dude. So, I mean, it's clear as day. It seems like yesterday, but it's going to be the song Question by the Moody Blues. I could thank my father for permanently embedding that song into my subconscious. It was his weapon of choice for waking us up for school every morning.
Oh, man.
Yeah, nothing says good morning quite like being jolted awake by philosophical prog rock.
Wow.
To this day, I have a complicated relationship with it. I absolutely love the song. Of course, it's nostalgia, brings back memories, but some primal part of my brain still thinks it's time to get out of bed and catch the school bus whenever I hear it. So
you didn't use it to get your kids out of bed when they were younger?
No, I actually would put on Naive Melody by Talking Heads. And
oh, nice.
My daughter, Annika, she's 22 now. She hated that song, and now she loves it, of course. I'd also wake her up with, there was a band called The Delays. I played that a lot. And then, of course, I played Meat is Murder a lot. So, the kids used to hate the Smiths, Talking Heads, and now they love it. So funny how that works.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. My kid is, for her whole life, she wakes up before we do. So I've never gotten the opportunity to.
Yeah.
What is a song that either makes you cry or makes you feel in that kind of way?
Oh man. Okay. So I would have to say for that one, the saddest song or the song that makes me cry. Man, so I don't like crying, but if I'm alone and I'm driving and I listen to Beck's Sea Change, song Lonesome Tears, man, that shit gets me every single time. I don't know what kind of emotional sorcery Beck put into that song, but it works without fail. It doesn't matter if I'm having the best day of my life or just folding laundry. By the end of it, I'm starting in the middle, into the middle distance, questioning every decision I've ever made when I hear that song. So there's a handful of songs, but Lonesome Tears, man. And if you know the backstory of that album, and it, was created basically going through his divorce. I mean,
it's brutal.
You could feel that pain.
Absolutely.
In his voice. And that one is just crazy, especially with like the symphony coming in the strings.
Man. Those string arrangements just like,
oh man, it's wild. So that one gets me, bro. That one gets me.
I hadn't thought about this song in a minute. And so when I was prepping for this and put it on, I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Lonesome Tears. I can't cry them anymore, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, on the flip side of that, what is the song that, once Lonesome Tears has brought you down, what's the song that put you in a better mood? Oh,
man, it's always going to be Left Side Drive by Boads of Canada. So, crazy enough, I met my wife on May 28th, 2006. And which was basically 20 years ago. And the day after we hung out, the first time I met her, and we had a blast. We ended up, hanging out till the wee hours of the morning. I didn't go to bed that night because on the 29th, I was starting a tour with the band I was in currently at the time for a couple of weeks. And I knew Boards of Canada was dropping the EP on the 29th. So I went and picked it up before we started making our way out to Iowa, wherever the fuck we're playing out on the, the sticks and hills and that area. But I picked that up and Left Side Drive, man. I swear, my bandmates at the time, they wanted to kill me because I played Left Side Drive like every, time it was my turn to put the CD in. And it just reminded me of Julia, of my wife, better known as Jules. Everybody knows her as Jules, but I was just thinking about like meeting this amazing woman, and then that song I just kept on playing over and over, thinking of her. And now it's just like, that one's set in stone. It's the good mood track, man. That makes a whole lot of sense. It's a song that like take even any of those like connections out of it. It just feels good, like just the way it's produced. Yep, absolutely. And it's fun. It does have that like late night driving through the middle of nowhere. Yeah, like absolutely. You're in Indiana, I'm in Oklahoma. We've all driven those like expanses of fields, middle of the night. It's one of my favorite things, and this music is that. Yeah, Dave, driving the music is something crazy. It's like I'll tell you just real quick to get off topic, but the craziest drive I ever did was the sun was coming down. It was late spring, early summer, and I was driving the 16-passenger van while we were touring, and we were driving across New Mexico, and it was just all desert. And there was a train probably 3 miles away from us, but we were staying in line with them for a couple hours. And I listened to Gio Gaddy. Sun was coming down in Santa Fe, New Mexico, coming up Santa Fe, New Mexico at night. Man, it was wild. I swear that shit was crazy. That sounds like something from a dream. It felt like one. I don't know. Maybe our bass player put something in we were smoking, but I felt like I was driving an alien ship, not a Ford Econoline in Santa Fe, New Mexico, man. Find the right environment. The Ford Econoline will turn into a spaceship. So you did it, man. I'll just fly, bro. Oh man! All right, well, everybody's favorite question: what is objectively the best song of all time? Okay, this is it, man. In Limbo by Radiohead. Today. Okay. Yep. So, just the guitar work, the shifting rhythms, the time signatures, Tom York's voice floating along, dude. And the phrase in it, "I spiral down." Oh my gosh, dude, that song is just divine. Like that is the one that will give me butterflies in my stomach, even till this day. I remember when that album first came out, and everything in its right place. Of course, hits you like a ton of bricks.
Yep.
Keep going into Kid A was insane, and then of course you got the hitters, Idiotech. But right after Idiotech, it slides right in, in Limbo, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And it sounded so good. It still does, dude. That album just,
that album holds up.
The test of time, bro.
I still remember, like, I have such distinct memories of it when it leaked on Napster, and I still was on like dial-up internet at the time, and I remember it was took a full day to download this thing. Yeah, and it was the first time I ever remember, like, oh my god, like I'm going to hear this before it came out, like this, because this was like what, 2001, 2002, something around there.
Yeah, I think it was 2001.
Yeah, and
check.
It was, and it's still like, it was such a, I don't know, that was such a cool. And then I, like, my buddy who we've been friends since we were 14 in bands, and like he lived in Seattle at the time. Yeah. And we were like calling each other like, oh my God, this Radiohead album, it's like, I think you can like hear it early. And oh man, that was, I don't know, simpler times.
Man, I think I tried to download it. It was either that or some other album, but I ended up with like Britney Spears and a fucking Trojan horse on my Gateway computer, man.
Gateway. Oh man, that was like my big fear, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna chance it. That was still like, it was, I guess, that next summer when they did, it was like the big tour they did. It was I think Amnesiac had come out at that point, but
that came out in the summer of that next year.
And I flew out to Seattle, and we went and saw them at the Gorge in Washington, and it's still like one of the greatest shows I've ever been to. Just that environment, that period of Radiohead. Like,
it's just crazy, dude. Dude, that was such a good time.
Feels like it is like it's a lifetime ago. I mean,
really. It sure is, man. It really is, man.
Okay, well, what's a song you used to love, but you've heard it recently, or if you think about it now, it doesn't really.
Dude, so Squad, Cynthia and Kevin and James, they'll make fun of me because I think I was talking shit about this group when I was out in LA a couple of years back with them. But I mean, it's not just one song. It could be all of their songs, but it's Sigur Rós, man. I can't anymore. I'm going to get hate mail, and people are going to, call me out on it. But listen, there was a time in my life where Sigur Rós was practically a religion, right? It was kind of. I started hearing about them after like my obsession of Bjork and Radiohead, and I kind of wanted that same sound, and they kind of got there. So I was obsessed when it first came out. I wanted to collect the vinyl, the CD singles, things like that. But something shifted, man. I still have immense respect, don't get me wrong, for what they create. Like, you're just asking a hard ass question that you shouldn't ask anyone. But
I relate to exactly what you're saying, because I was obsessed with it, because they opened for Radiohead on one of those tours around. That's where I first heard of them. It was like, this band's opening for Radiohead. Who were they?
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, man, like, it's just like, they're awesome, right? They're awesome musicians, but I'm just bored. It doesn't do it for me, and it didn't stick enough where it was like something I could go back and think nostalgically. Maybe it's a couple songs off of Parentheses, but even at that, it's just like, I don't know. It just doesn't hit. It doesn't hit anymore. It's kind of like when, you used to smoke so much weed and then it just doesn't hit anymore.
Stops working.
Like you just get panic attacks. So it's like, why go back to it? So Sigur Rós is kind of like my weed. Like I can't go back. I just get panic attacks. I guess.
Yeah, no, I had not even. I don't remember the last time I listened to or thought about Sigur Rós before this, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they exist." and it's not like, again, it's nothing again. It's just There was a time when it was. I mean, I listened to it, like you said, it was a religion. But now I know a million other things that I'd rather listen to.
Yeah, man. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, I feel kind of weird, like having that on full blast and somebody pulling up next to me, and I had tears on my face, and they're like, "Look at this dude."
Okay, well, what is the song that most people, some group of people, I don't know who these people are, somebody hates it, you don't care, you fucking love it anyway?
Skin Coat by Khanate, dude. Yeah, I chose this mostly because of my children. For years, I subjected them to Khanate during family car rides, where escape was impossible. So imagine being trapped in a moving vehicle while your father enthusiastically explains why 20 minutes of slow-moving sonic misery is actually genius.
Yeah. Right.
Their suffering only made me love it more. Parenting comes in many forms, and every Halloween Khanate finds its way on my front patio, and I blast it, and somehow all the kids come to my house to get the candy because they hear the sheer evil of Tootsie Rolls waiting for them, dude.
Dude, yeah, no, I relate to that. These days, I don't get away much with listening outside of headphones.
Same,
God, fucking classic, like all time.
Yeah, all time. Dude. Yeah, that, and I'll annoy them with Pig Destroyer. But like my son, he's 15 now, and like he's into Converge. That was like the age I was when I got into like Converge and stuff, and he actually got to, unfortunately, see his dad in action at the pit at the Post Fest, which my brother puts on in Indianapolis. We were right on the edge of the pit during the Converge set, and some dude, he took a swing at my daughter's boyfriend, and my son and my daughter both, they were like, "Dad, I didn't know you could move that fast. You looked like a grizzly bear." So I like totally pummeled this dude, and hemmed him up and threw him out of the fest. But I don't know. I think maybe my son gave me a little more respect when I asked him to do chores, because he doesn't want to see the zakè grizzly bear come after his ass, So
man, you need to make some like shirts, like grizzly bear shirts with zakè.
Hell yeah.
All right, what is the song? Where are we at? Most romantic song. Do we have most romantic song?
Yeah, man. So it's going to be How Soon Is Now by the Smiths, of course. An odd choice considering Morrissey's lyrics. Rarely mistaken for Valentine's Day cards, but this answer, of course, is entirely personal.
Right.
So when my wife and I first started dating, she introduced me to the Smiths through homemade CD mixes. In return, I introduced her to Radiohead. Prior to that, she thought Radiohead was just the band that made Creep. Thankfully, she's seen the light since then, but I was kind of the same with the Smiths. I was like, yeah, they're that, kind of, crybaby, new wave, 80s. No, dude. She made like a mix CD of all of her favorite Smiths songs. And of course, the first song was How Soon Is Now. Dude, it just reminds me of me and her being inseparable that first summer we met, dude. And it's just like, we were like best friends, and we were just painting the town, dude. And that one is, man, every pub we visited, every jukebox we found, we made sure it was played. Instantly takes me back to those times, man. Just laughs and just a wonderful time with my jewels. So
yeah, fuck
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
I could do like a whole episode of songs like that with me and Eden. It's I mean, and then like you said, you guys have been together for 20 years.
Right.
We've been together for 23 years. Like all that history, there's just so much,
man.
And so much of it, like I can tie, like it's connected to music too. Like but it's just the way I move through the world.
Absolutely.
All right, what's the song that changed your perspective on an artist?
Yeah, so this is a weird one. So, H by Tool off of Anima, if that's how you even say it. That's another one of those freaky words. I don't know if that's how you say it, but a lot of my friends were already deep into Tool, like in high school. But I hadn't fully understood their obsession. I was more in like the Nine Inch Nails camp. I was obsessed with Nine Inch Nails, but a lot of my buddies were obsessed with Tool. The emotional depth, the musicianship, the atmosphere is just something that blew me away. and it kind of hit. Like, we were skating. We used to, go skateboarding, whenever we were not in school. And they would always play Anima. And then I think it was after like a run I did, it was hot as shit. And I was just smoking a cigarette, and we had the trunk open, listened to music, and H came on. And for some reason, it just hit me. I came fucking obsessed with it. And that was the same year A Perfect Circle, Mère des Gnomes came out. And then I was obsessed with that album too, which was, of course, the side project of Maynard.
Right.
But yeah, dude, that one kind of changed it. I thought they were just like that radio rock band. But I was sort of mistaken, man. And then, of course, now you can see the breadth of their catalog, and some of the shit they do is just insane. And it's crazy to me. It was back in in 2008. So one of my favorite post-hardcore bands was ISIS. And they actually opened up for Tool on a tour. And I was like, what the fuck? Wow. So awesome.
That's really cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, so they did that, and it's funny. ISIS is kind of in that kind of arena in some way, in shape, or form. Then after ISIS, they broke that off and stopped doing ISIS. Those guys joined up with Chino from Deftones and started a band called Palms, and that was off of Epicac Records. They released it, and that was awesome. Right. If you haven't heard that before, man, go check that out.
Man, yeah, that's cool. Like, Tool's one of those. It's a band. I still haven't had that moment with Tool. Yeah, like, they're a band that I have like immense respect for. Like, because I recognize how, like, what they do is, it's kind of singular too. Like, there's nobody else. They're one of those bands that they sound like nobody else, basically.
Right, they're in their own league for sure.
But yeah, I'm one of these days, like, they're one of those bands, like, I keep returning to every like couple years. I'm like, maybe this is the moment it's going to happen, because it's like, nah. And it's like, what? And it's, it's one of those things where, I mean, we all have those things where you can hear, you're like, yeah, this is cool, but I'm just not like emotionally connecting to it, or like whatever. And someday though, someday.
Hell yeah.
So obviously you make instrumental music, but are lyrics the thing you pay attention to? Like, can lyrics make or break a song for you?
No. The funny thing is, my wife makes fun of me all the time because I am so bad about misinterpreting lyrics. So I will make up what I think is being said, and she dies laughing at me, because even like my favorite band, Radiohead, she's just like, dude, how do you not know the lyrics? You listen to this every day. I was like, oh, that's what he says? I had no idea. I just kind of said, so it's like, no. But the flow of it, of course, I love it. The vocals are an instrument in of itself. But when it comes to the actual lyrics, I have a hard time deciphering a lot of them, because I don't know, my ear's more on the drums or the bass, or the guitars, the sounds, the textures, and it's always been kind of my focal point. But yeah,
with that said, what are your favorite lyrics?
So of course, there's a common theme here. We're either going to reference Boads of Canada, Radiohead. So you got a 50-50 chance of guessing what I'm going to say, but it's going to be Radiohead. Specifically the song True Love Waits. And it's the version from the I Might Be Wrong live recordings that came out through Capitol. I think that was kind of like a middle finger to Radiohead. I don't think they wanted to release that live album, but that track True Love Waits was on it. And man, the way he says it live, it stuck with me. It still does. And I love the phrase. I love the quote. It's, I'm not living, I'm just killing time.
I know.
And when he says that, dude, it's so simple, and it's so simply devastating and simply perfect. Yeah. You could hear it in his voice, man. And that always stuck with me, dude. So, few lyricists can say so much with so little. Tom's one of them, man. So that line stuck with me for decades, and somehow it feels just as powerful today as it did when I first heard it.
Yeah, man, that song is didn't they released like an official version of it finally? Didn't they like semi recently?
Yeah, off of a moon shaped pool.
Yeah, right, yeah. Because which I remember when because that like I don't know, there was like some of the I didn't get real excited about like In Rainbows and Hail to the Thief, so like they were okay for me, but Moonshaped Pool, man, that was like, oh shit, that's like them back at their best again for me. Like, it's fucking great.
I hate to admit it, dude. I have not given it the time. I like even like Triple of Weeds. I'm so used to the live version. When I heard the studio version, I'm just like, I don't know. And then the rest of the album, I was kind of like, I don't know.
Oh man, that's funny. Like, it was weird hearing like the studio version. It was kind of like when what was it? Was it Lift that they finally put a studio version out on like the OK Computer anniversary thing? Which that was I had like, that was like one of those legendary live things that only existed as like on a file trading sites. And then I don't know. There's something when it gets officially released, it's kind of like,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so what song could you or have you listened to the most?
The Beach at Redpoint by Boads of Canada off their album GeoGaddy. My favorite album, probably, I mean, it's always a toss-up each day if it's Kid A or GeoGaddy, but I would say GeoGaddy has more listens, and the number one song, The Beach at Redpoint, I don't know, it just every fucking thing about it is perfect. It's perfection in my ear. Warm, mysterious, comforting, all at the same time, slightly haunting. It's real, dude. Like, I don't know what they did with that album, but GeoGaddy, man, it's the trophy, man. And that song
GeoGaddy, that's always been my favorite Boards of Canada album. Everyone, I've had a million people try to shove. I mean, music has the right, like, it's fucking great. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, no. And I'm this baby sacrifice. I actually haven't even listened to their new album yet. I know.
I have, and we'll have to listen to it a lot. I'll have to listen to it. There's been such a time lapse between Inferno and Tomorrow's Harvest where like it's just going to have to catch up, with the sounds and the music and what it was presented versus their entire backlog. I get and understand kind of everything they've done. And, like all you have to do is go on Boards of Canada Reddit and you could just see the vast, like people saying it's the best thing that's ever been created to like, what is this hot garbage? I'm not on either yet. I mean, there's some bangers on it, but there's nothing to me at this point that can compare to any of their previous works.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Kind of, I've a couple people have said as much people who like whose opinions I have a lot of respect for, and I was like, okay, like that tempered my. I don't know. I haven't got to it yet. There's so much goddamn music.
Right, dude.
But it'll get there. It'll get there.
Yeah.
What is the best hype song?
All right, so like when I think of hype songs, this is like where I'm like feeling total like dude, bro. Like something.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
Like I'll get a fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's "Dreaming in Dog Ears" by the Red Chord. That song makes me feel like I could run through a brick wall. Not that I should.
No.
At our age, that will probably be require a lengthy hospital visit.
Yeah.
But eventually, yeah, dude, that thing gets me. That thing gets me hyped. I mean, you put on that song, at the very end, right before you could imagine the circle pit about to happen.
Right.
We start screaming, "It's not going to be all right. It's not going to be okay." And I don't know. Like that's just such like dude brawl, like throw down hardcore, like it's not. So let's fucking fight, dude. So that's the hype right there.
Yeah, you need to have this playing in the headphones before you had to got the guy who's gone to your daughter or whatever. So
yeah, dude, it was funny. I think it was last summer. I was blasting it in my car. And my daughter was like videotaping me screaming this shit. And it was hilarious. And then I sent it to Tom, Benoit Pielard, and we laughed about it forever. I always send, my friends and Pippi Squad the most random ass videos and photos. And,
Yeah.
probably the whole world would change their entire opinion or thought of this quiet, gentle man making drum music if they really saw how hilarious and ridiculous I am. But there's a lot of people with a lot of evidence to sink me.
I often think, like, yeah, the group chat between me and a handful, it's like mutually assured destruction here, guys.
Yeah. That's right.
Man.
That's right.
All right, last two questions. What is the song that means the most to you? Not necessarily because of the song itself, but because of what you associate it with.
Okay, so yeah, this one was pretty easy choice to me. It's Meeting in the Aisle by Radiohead, not because of the song of itself. It's fantastic, but this track represents peak teenage obsession of mine. Right. During high school, I was determined to collect every Radiohead single, import, rarity, promo, bootleg, alternate pressing, obscure release, anything that I could find.
Yep.
And that song immediately transports me back to those years of digging through record stores.
Yes.
And spending money I absolutely should have been saving.
Yes.
Dude, it's a soundtrack to discovery, right? And let me just point on that. Like, everybody and these kids, you know, my kids, my age, and just everybody in general now can get whatever they want.
I know.
With a few clickies. But dude, you had to dig for that. You had to find that shit, man. So it's like, I remember spending time at all the record stores, driving ridiculous amounts to get like an Aphex single or a, you know, Radiohead single or, you know, the Autechre, you know, tape or some shit like that, man. And I miss that, dude. I miss that so much. And, you know, I try to instill that with my kids. So every time I drop records off at like Indie Seed Vinyl, I make sure the kids are with me and I let them dig. I'll talk to the owners for a little bit, but so go dig, you know, go find something. And they do. And they love it, you know? So
yeah, I remember
those things, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, like when I was in high school, it was Smashing Pumpkins. So this is like in the 90s. And my buddy who I mentioned earlier, who I went and saw Radiohead with at the Gorge, like we are still friends. And the thing we bonded over was we each had some of like the random like CD singles or the Japanese because it was and it was, you know, that feeling of when you saw something you had never seen, right, and didn't know it existed,
right? I mean, even if it had the same songs on it, had alternate artwork, you know, like in Radiohead, they killed it. They killed that game, dude. Like, I mean, OK Computer and even the Bends, the singles after singles, and the Australian pressing had like 3 songs and not 4, you know, like,
it was the best. And I will say, so like my kid in the last year or so, like, I mean, she's gone deep down the K-pop rabbit hole, which is totally cool. But like one of the coolest things about it is they really put a lot into physical releases.
They really do. They really do.
And it is the same thing because there will be like multiple versions and they have different stickers or different things in it. And she's got so into, she'll be like, can we go, like, I mean, Barnes and Noble is the one place that carries K-pop stuff here. It's
tons of it, dude.
And I mean, we're in summer break and at least twice she's been like, can we go to Barnes and Noble? I have a little. I'm like, dude. So it's like I'm forever. It's like pro K-pop because it's gotten her. Like it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing as when I was her age. Chasing.
It's the chase, dude.
It is, and it's so much fun, and it, you know, and you know, when you like, speaking of like, you know, meeting people and building relationships and friendships, like those things. When you find someone else who loves that chase and is chasing those things, like, that's a unique bond.
Right, dude. Right. I mean, and speaking of chase, I think that's kind of probably where my obsession with music collecting happened. Was the genesis was card collecting. So like, I used to collect dude. I should send you a picture. I have unopened boxes from the 70s, the 80s, 90s. Whether it's hockey, basketball, baseball, football.
Oh my God.
I have such an incredible collection of like junk wax and, PSA mint cards. I had cards from the 1917s that are PSA graded. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, Even sometimes like when my older kids are over, we'll open some of my older packs just for the hell of it. Like,
right.
Let's open some 1981 Topps baseball. Cool. Let's search for Barry Bonds.
Fun. Right. It's such a. That's so cool. Yeah, that was. I never really thought of that. You say that. That was where it started for me too. Was
right.
When I was 5 years old collecting baseball cards, and then it went to hockey, and then it went to
yeah.
And I think a lot of that stuff is still at my parents' house. I know that the more valuable ones, they're like, oh, we still have those in the safe. Like, I don't know what they're worth anymore, but it was the chase. It was never about the like, oh, I've got this valuable thing. It was just, yeah. And it was, especially with cards, for me, it was like, you want to find it in a pack. You don't want to buying it is cool, but finding it in a pack, man.
That's the chase, man. That is it.
Been chasing that high ever since.
Every day, baby, every day. So I think maybe that's where it all started for us, Brad.
Yeah, I think
is the baseball cards, man.
You unlocked something. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna be thinking about this the rest of the day. All right, last question. What's your favorite song?
Okay. So we've talked on that. We've touched on that. It's going to be 2, and it's going to be whatever day I feel like it's the favorite one. It's In Limbo by Radiohead or The Beach at Redpoint by Boads of Canada.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Those are my favorite songs, man, through and through. Nothing will ever top it. Nothing will ever replace those two. I'm too old now, and those have been with me for decades, and there's nothing that could top it. Really is those two.
I totally get it, man.
Yeah.
Well, this was entirely too much fun.
Yeah, always, man. Always a good time, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And so everybody, Still Beauty is out now. Zakè and Marine Eyes. And if you haven't heard the first one, if you haven't heard Unfailing Love, you should hear that one too, because they're both fucking great, man.
I appreciate it. Both are on Passing Side. Unfailing Loves, we're sold out of the vinyl, but you could still forever get the digital pitt.bandcamp.com. And then, of course, Still Beauty, pitt.bandcamp.com, pitt.us. And then, of course, all of your distributors worldwide, Juno, Norman, Tabira, Sound Ohm, for our European friends. So really appreciate the support.
And if you're not on like the mailing list or like you should be, because there's always something killer coming from.
Follow us on Bandcamp, and then sign up for a newsletter at pitt.us. We usually do quiet releases for upcoming albums, so you'll be ahead of the line before things hit Bandcamp and our distributors. There currently is one right now that is at pitt.us that we haven't even announced, so go check it out.
Once again, thank you to Zakè for taking the time and really diving in and just having a good time talking about music with me. His album with Marine Eyes, Still Beauty, is out now. You can, of course, listen to all the selections at the playlist in the show notes. I think that's about it. Please leave rating, reviews, subscribe, all that stuff. Patreon.com/Foxy Digitalis. All those things help this keep going, help the site keep going, help me keep going. We all need help keeping going these days, right? But yeah, thank you all for listening. You all the best. And until next time, keep on listening to whatever the hell you want.